When I was 18, freshly transplanted from Missouri to Boston for college, I started having mysterious symptoms initially disguised as a prolonged sinus infection. I had an MRI, and the doctors found an enlarged lymph node in my neck with no evidence of an infection otherwise. In a young person, this can mean a cancer diagnosis. I was completely terrified. On one of my walks to Mass General to be scanned and poked and prodded, I encountered a black and white sticker that read "Endless Courage." After that, I started seeing them everywhere in the city. Not typically a courageous person, I latched onto the phrase, and it carried me through the process of diagnosis. The doctors were able to rule out cancer, and when I would see Endless Courage around the city, it was a reminder of the relief that my life wasn't ending before my eyes. A year later, newly heartbroken and completely unsure of who I was, I needed that reminder again. I connected with the Endless Courage artist online and commissioned a painting from him to hang in my dorm.
My name is Matthew Natoli, and I am Endless Courage. I used to write a lot when I was a kid. So I think it started with a love for writing. I don't know, I was always scared to make art. I just always would be embarrassed of my art because I didn't think it was good. So yeah, it took me a little bit to figure it out, but I did just come up with the phrase "endless courage." I wanted something that would live beyond me and be timeless. Endless also means for me, it means day to day, and then throughout your life. Courage has been one of my favorite words. And it came to me, and when it started, I was like, that needs to be a sticker. I just love sticking stickers, it's just so fun to find a good spot for them. We all face tough times, and it's really important to just uplift our communities, and hopefully it'll inspire them to tap into their courage and achieve what their goal is, or what they're trying to go for.
Meeting Matt made me wonder about what other lives his work had touched. My roommate and best friend at school, Sophie, had also latched onto the phrase when we were freshmen. When Sophie came with me to our interview with Matt, he passed on a sticker to her, but on one condition. She had to share a goal of hers, big or small, with him.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're very kindly welcome. But what is one of your goals that you have for yourself? Big or small? Long term, short term?
Find a production internship in Detroit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the summer.
Sweet. I believe in you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Endless Courage was clearly popular with adrift young women trying to acclimate to a new city. But I wanted to know if its impact extended beyond our campus. After a vigorous search through the Endless Courage hashtag on Instagram, we found Millie, Paladino, pro runner for New Balance Boston.
My experience in running and my success in running has always been kind of out of a love for it that has preceded anything, and then the accolades and the times and the money that comes with it have always kind of been this really cool bonus thing. My first 10K that I ever ran was the third fastest in American history. It's really difficult to separate my success from who I am. What I do is who I am. And that can be kind of dangerous sometimes. I actually was able to think about making Olympic teams. It's one of those things where, do you even put that goal out there if you even think it's possible? The idea was get the surgery and then heal with enough time to train for the Olympics. That didn't happen. The recovery process was a bear. It was a mountain. You're the only person who's feeling that pain. It's really isolating to feel it and try to describe it to other people who don't also feel it. One of the things you do when you're coming back from injuries, you do something called a walk jog. And when you're used to running 80 miles a week, that's an incredibly demoralizing thing where it's a minute of running is hard for me. On one of those walk jogs that I did, I had seen that Endless Courage sticker, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, the most courageous thing to do is to just try. Maybe you fail, but if I wake up every day and I try again, that is the most courageous thing to do. You're not making an Olympic team if you don't have those small moments of courage in your life where you do just keep pushing forward when nobody sees it. Seeing the Endless Courage sticker makes me like feel reinforced about this underpinning goodness of like we're all sort of tied in somehow to something good.
My interview with Millie created an instant connection. I felt a camaraderie with her that only a sticker like Endless Courage could have created, and I passed one on to her, keeping Matt's tradition of requiring a goal.
Okay, let me hold it, and then you can.
Let me just.
They're kind of bent from being in my wallet.
Okay, the white one was the OG one I saw, so I'm taking the white one. Okay, a goal I have for myself. Oh, I want to run a marathon. I've never run a marathon. Maybe the Boston Marathon, but a world major marathon. That's one of my goals. Yeah.
That moment was essential in my journey with Endless Courage. Somehow, I was now not just a spectator, but part of the movement.
Can he fly? Oh my god. There he goes. No, he's gonna fall again. Oh! Wow.
I took it upon myself to put up the stickers that Matt had given me, and I took Sophie with me. Together, we revisited places that held difficult memories, filling each other in on the things that had happened before we became close. Being back in these places years after the things that made them so difficult was surreal. When I sat in the courtyard where my parents and I cried years ago after a phone call from the vet about my childhood dog's rapid downturn into the end of her life, it felt like another world. But I told Sophie this story, and sharing it with her almost made it part of my past, another reason to hold on to my courage instead of something that pains me every day.
I'm Sophie Rasmussen, and I was one of the only people to move out of state for college from my little town in Michigan. And it was quite scary because I was doing something that no one I was close to could really relate to. And the first week I was here, I saw this sticker that said Endless Courage, and I was just overcome by this comforting feeling of, hey, I've got this, it's fine, I've got this.
This sticker appeared at the crosswalk right by my college just a few weeks after my interview with Matt. I go by it almost every day, and when I see it, I think about Matt and Sophie and Millie. I think about 18-year-old me who was terrified at the prospect of a diagnosis. And I picture a future self, a woman who still gets up every day with the Endless Courage painting hanging above her head, courageous and alive.